My name is J.R.Heller. I'm the owner of J.R.Heller Real Estate and Mortgage. This is Logan. Logan Chappelle.
Logan
Chappelle.
I'm the associate broker here. I run things here.
Like Dave. Chappelle.
It's Chappelle.
And we're coming to you not live, but in a video here at J.R.Heller headquarters. And for another video, and today we're going to talk about goal setting, the importance of goals, why you need a goal, how you should structure a goal, how you should go after one, and what the hell they are.
I think everybody here knows the importance of goal setting. The only way to climb a mountain is, one step at a time, 1 foot at a time. So what you need to do is be setting benchmarks for yourself and getting yourself to the point where, nobody just turned a company into $1 billion company overnight, right? So to start at square one, it's like, okay, well, get your first client in the door. And then whatever your business may be, ours being real estate, what does that one client look like? How do you acquire that client, and then on the back end, once you fulfill their needs, whatever that may be, what is your payment structure going to look like? How are you getting paid? How's the business getting paid? And moving forward from there. And it can be personal too, in health and fitness, something that I have a large passion for. Set goals in terms of how much are you benching? What's your now, and what do you want to be come March? Everybody hears about the what are they called at the New Year?
New Year's resolutions.
Well, yeah, but there's a term that I'm thinking of in the gym. It's the New Year's, they always drop off after the first 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
So it's very important to set goals and then take it one step at a time to be able to achieve those goals.
Yeah. And that's, I think, look at the importance of goal setting. I think it's super critical to make sure that you understand that the achievement of a goal rarely means anything at all.
Yeah.
It's actually in the attainment of said goal.
Yep.
Is where all the purpose comes from, right? It makes you a better person. You're pulling yourself into a future version of yourself by setting a goal and then going after it. It's not the attainment. The attainment means almost absolutely nothing. It means you need to reset actually and grow to another level then.
I was going to say, but it's all about the journey.
The journey is everything. So don't get discouraged when you're failing at a goal. As long as you're learning and you're striving to become that better person, even 1% incrementally a day compounds into a huge change over years. Tony Robbins' famous quote is, most people overestimate what they can achieve in a year and greatly underestimate what they can achieve in a decade.
Yep, 100%.
So set a big goal. Right? That's number one. And then break down that goal into tiny steps of how daily actions of how to achieve that. And then forget about I almost swore. I'm going to try not to swear on here. Forget about the goal. Forget about it. Don't even look at it again. Look at the fundamentals, the daily actions you need to do, and do them. It doesn't matter if you don't feel like doing them. It doesn't matter if it's raining outside. It doesn't matter if your dog died, right? Do them every day, like brushing your teeth. You don't think about brushing your teeth anymore. You wake up, you roll out of bed, and you brush your teeth.
Yep.
That's how these actions need to be. So yeah, if you want, you can look at the big goal again and say, yeah, this is what I'm striving for, this is what I want. But a lot of times, if you do that, you'll actually get discouraged or you'll feel like you can't achieve it if you're setting goals big enough that are stretching. And again, it's not the attainment of the goal, it's the actions and who you need to become to be able to achieve that goal, right? So you're pulling the future towards you.
Yep.
So very, very big. Get some sort of accountability journal where you're writing these things down and then checking them off as you're doing them daily. I love Goal Wizard. That's an app on my phone. That's also on my watch that I can, as I go through my day, did my workout, I ran through my pre-approvals, I'm doing my daily actions, right? And a lot of them on there for me are tell your wife you love her every day, tell Lorelai you love her every day, tell Lorelai she can do anything she wants in the world, she just has to work hard for it. She will recite that to I literally have told her every single day. There was a little time there probably for 3 or 4 months that I slipped, but she's heard that every single day since she was like almost born. So at this point, I can literally say, hey, Lorelai. And she knows as soon as I say, hey, Lorelai, I don't even need to tell her. She goes, I know, Dad. I can do anything I want in the world. I just have to work hard for it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
So
I've heard her say it too, so I know he's telling the truth,
It's daily, man. It's daily. And that's actually in my goal. So one of my goals I check off every day is tell Lorelai that.
Yep.
Tell Jess I love her. And a lot of times, again, these things become habit. I don't even need to look at my goal thing to tell my wife I love her every day. That's a habit.
Yep.
But when I'm going back through my goals, I go, yep, I checked that one off. That one's good. That's what happens with any action. If you set a goal or you set an increment on your goal, say you want to lose weight, your increment is to run a mile every day. If you wake up and run a mile every day, if you do that for 3 months straight and you don't miss a day, guess what? You don't have to look at your chart again to decide whether or not you're going to run or what you need to do for the day. You're just going to do it. It's a habit.
Yep. 100%.
This is what you want to do on the achievement of any goal that you set, right? And again, the importance of it is not the goal itself. It is pulling you into a better future version, a happier, stronger, emotionally better version of yourself. And let me tell you this, the reason you do that at the end of the day has very little to do with you. It's about helping and supporting the people that are around you, your loved ones. You need to show up for them. You are on this planet to serve others. Yes, you can have shiny toys and you can be rich, and you should be, but all of it means nothing unless you are serving others and helping them become better versions of themselves. We're all in the same boat together. We're all on this planet Earth. We're all humans. And the best thing we can do is show up and serve others. And that's how you get the most joy in life. That's how you become the most successful, healthiest, happiest version of yourself, and how you show up and help others.
Definitely. No, I mean, everything you said resonates with me. I agree 100%. The only difference that I have for myself is I'm a big firm believer in speaking things into existence, which you did touch on. But, I set what some would consider unattainable goals. And it's, this large, huge, way out in the distance, 5, 10 year, 30-year plan goal. And I'm all for reciting that to myself every single day in the mirror, while reverse engineering it, setting benchmarks, putting a checklist together where, what do I do every single day? Where are the repetitions I need to do to get to that point? So that's the only difference. That large goal, I still focus on that every single day.
And I'll touch on that, and I agree on that, because I think I might have worded that or stated that poorly. What I mean by don't look at it or don't be obsessed with the achievement of it, where you're breaking yourself down and saying, oh shit, like this is so hard, this is so
Yep.
so your version, which is smart to do, is when you're going to look at that goal, when you're going to see that, phrase it as if it's already happened.
Of course.
Right?
Yep.
So that we're not saying, oh shit, I got to do 40 million in mortgages this year. How am I going to do that, right? Which is a good thing. It's a good thing. You want to do that in the beginning, but then you break that down into the actions, and
Exactly.
then you know how you're going to do it, and then you stop thinking about how you're going to do it, because you need to stop questioning it and just go through the motions and do those things.
Yep.
So if anything, if you're going to look at it, on a hierarchy, say, my name is J.R.Heller, I own J.R.Heller Mortgage, and this year we did $40 million in loan volume, right?
Yep.
So I'm not again saying to myself, how am I going to do this? I'm saying it's already happened,
Yep.
right? So, and that's what he's touching on.
Yeah, that's what I say the same thing to myself every day. My name is Logan Chappell, and I have achieved generational health and wealth. I tell myself that every single day, and I preach, wealthiness is different to everybody, right? It's not just monetary or materialistic. It is, wealthy in your relationships, wealthy in, every single day you're putting your best foot forward and trying to be the best version of you. That is wealthy in my eyes. It doesn't mean that, I'm 100 million billionaire and, I have all this money and, that's wealthy. Yeah, that's one form of wealthiness, but I'm a big firm believer. Like I said, I love health and fitness, and that's the best way to create the best version of you, because if you're healthy and you're in good shape, you'll feel good and you'll do better in your career, in your relationships with others, friends, family, and all that good stuff.
It's hard to be a happy person when you're sick and you're not feeling good.
Exactly.
It's really hard. It's really hard to enjoy anything, honestly, when your body is failing you and you're ailing. It's just a hard thing to do,
Yeah.
And so you want to set yourself up for success, and that's where, being mindful on health is important. And, to me, this is obviously getting into what the importance of goals is and why we set goals. And that's exactly what you're touching on is you need to think about, let's just back up here. Let's be honest. Life has a lot of challenges and it's hard.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of despair and hurt, and it's a hard journey. I don't think we're here to just lay back and have fun all the time. And if you do that and you don't set goals and you don't think about what future you want ultimately, and you don't structure your life and your habits around that, you're creating more problems for yourself.
Oh yeah.
You are literally creating your destiny to be hell by not sitting down and seeing what it is you ultimately want. You are doing that to yourself.
And a lot of issues, the number one reason for divorce is financial issues, right? So, not that money is everything by any means, but putting together a small budget and saying, okay, well, how can I make an extra $100 this month? Something small. $100 for some people is life-changing. That's life-changing money. If you're able to create some sort of side gig, side hustle, and that eliminates that headache and that stress, and that allows you to have a more loving marriage, and you're not fighting over silly things like this, money, this imaginary dollar that, really doesn't mean a whole lot of anything, but it's the number one cause for divorce, which is not fair to those who, might be working hard.
Yeah.
The ones who do work hard, though, are the ones that are setting goals.
Well, and that's, challenges are going to show up. So it's better to challenge yourself on your terms than it is to have life throw you a challenge that you're unprepared to handle.
100%.
So the more you struggle and strive, and the more you do things you don't want to do on a daily basis, the easier it becomes to do those things. And then when life does throw you challenges, you can move through them very easily. And so what's one challenge to one person becomes a whole different animal to somebody else who isn't used to dealing with stress or obstacles.
Yep.
That's really the important part of setting goals and doing those things is becoming the better version of yourself that's able to handle life stresses and able to be a leader to others when they're going through those struggles, and being able to be their rock and help them. So.
Well, yeah, and it's a matter of setting yourself up for success. Like you said, you don't want to have life throw you a curveball and then not be prepared for it. One thing that I talk to the majority of my clients about in the real estate business is, I'm looking to buy a house, but probably not for another 3 to 6 months. It might be a year out. Okay, well, let's start at square one. Where are we at today, and how are we going to get you set up for success in 3, 6, 12 months? Yep. Let's talk to Josh and get you set up on the mortgage side of things. So that way, even if your credit might be 400 and you might have negative debt to income, you have no money coming in right now, how are we going to change that so that way when the time comes, you're ready to pull the trigger? And the same thing with, your personal life, your business life, whatever that may be, whatever you're, somewhat struggling with now or not having a clear focus on now, sit down, write down, where do you see yourself in 30 days? Where do you see yourself in 3 months? Where do you see yourself in a year and 5 years, 10 years? And you outline that, and then that's how you set the goals to achieve that, and you break it down step by step.
Yep, absolutely. And I would say too, for anybody who maybe is struggling to say, well, I don't really know what I want, right? I don't really know what I want out of life. Here's a really easy way to figure that out. what annoys you the most? What do you hate right now about yourself, about your body, about your finances, anything? What do you hate the most? That's what you should be focusing on.
Yep.
You should be focusing on what it is you wake up every day and you say, man, I'm in good shape, but I just got these little like love handles on the sides. You better be focusing on obliques, man.
Yeah.
You better have a goal around obliques, because don't just say, oh, I hate that, and then go throughout your day.
Yeah.
Because it's still going to be there.
And it's going to get worse probably.
Exactly.
It's not going to get better.
It will. Energy goes, or attention flows where energy goes, right? You got to put your energy into finding solutions around the things you hate most in life.
Yep.
So if you want to set a goal, look at the things you don't like and don't have a bunch of emotion around it. Just say, you know what? I can do something about this. I will do something about this. Even if it's 1% better today, do small things. They grow. It snowballs into very large differences. But do it, and do it today. Do it right now. And then continue on that journey, and you will be amazed. Again, most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and greatly underestimate what they can do in a decade.
And for all the young listeners, when I say young, I'm thinking anywhere from, let's say, as low as 10 to 25, 30. I mean, you're never too old to grow up, right? So I know some of you might be confused as to, where do I go with my life? What career am I going to do? What am I going to do to make money? And where am I going to end up in the next 3, 5, 10 years, You have an endless resource. Go on YouTube, go on Google, try things. That's the only way you're going to find out what you're passionate about and what you enjoy doing and what will make work seem less like work. You got to try things. You just sitting here and spinning your gears, this is going to get you nowhere. You got to go out, you got to try things, you got to do research on things. You might think that, hey, I want to get into real estate, until you realize you don't get a paycheck unless you sell. And it's like, well, I can't handle that instability, so maybe you go into some sort of, let's say, construction work, and oh man, that it gets cold out where I'm at. I don't think I'm going to work well in the winter. The only way for you to discredit things is by getting out there, learning about them, and trying them.
Absolutely. And I'll second that with, get out of your head, right? So don't stay out of your head. As soon as you have a thought of, I might want to try this, just do it. Just try it. And then I'll second that with, even if you don't like it, try it for a good amount of time, right? Because I think too many people, they hop into, especially like entrepreneurs, they hop into an industry and they're super duper excited, and they're just setting this thing up and everything is awesome. And then they get into it and they're like, man, I really don't like this. Like, I wish this was different about the industry, or this isn't fun. And those are all important things, right? Again, you got to do hard things every day. It's not always going to be rainbows and sunshine. You have to have a reason for wanting to be doing the things you're doing. And the reason is the twofold. It's the end goal of being the version that you're seeing in yourself now. And it's, again, the process of doing the things you don't want to do, you don't like, to become a better person, right? It's in the journey. So don't just hop out of it because you're like, shit, like, going back to the construction thing. Shit, it's cold out, right? Like, I don't like this. Okay, what if I could get over the cold? What if that wasn't an issue? If I keep showing up, I probably won't mind the cold so much. Is there anything else about this that is a good opportunity here that I do think, if I could get over the nagging cold part, is a good opportunity that I could see myself here at 5, 10, 15, right? So challenge yourself on the struggles is what I'm saying. Don't just hop out because it gets uncomfortable. Challenge yourself to really cognitively go through that process, right? A Jordan Peterson quote just kind of hit me immediately as I was talking about that, is your job as a person, and this is definitely not a direct quote, but your job as a person is to take yourself and project yourself into the future and run different simulations based on your actions to so that you can die or you can make failures in the simulation without you having to go through and actually die yourself or make those mistakes, right?
Yep. I've heard him say that.
Yeah,
something along those lines.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, you look at Bezos, right? Like, Bezos left a really good corporate job, making probably $500,000 a year, to go do a startup, an internet startup, when the internet was nothing.
Yeah.
And he talks about the reason he did that, or what pushed him over the edge, was he pictured himself as an old man laying in his deathbed and saying, I'll probably regret not leaving and not trying it.
Yep.
So he's projecting himself into the future and saying, how am I going to feel if I don't give this a shot? If I don't try this? I probably won't regret trying it and failing as much as I would regret never trying it at all.
Yep, 100%. And I mean, you hear, anybody's listening, I'm sure you've heard how many stories of, how many times have any entrepreneurs tried things and failed? I mean, that's the whole purpose of the process,
Yeah.
That's why you got to set the, what some might consider an unattainable goal, and then reverse engineer it. And then this is step 1. And then step 1 might get to step 12, and then you might fail. And then it's like, all right, well, back to step 1, and let's try something different. So let's try something new,
And this is touching on a good point, which is, with any goal comes failure, and lots and lots and lots of failure. I love that word, actually. Failure is my favorite word because it makes me better. Every time I fail, I learn something. When I'm succeeding, I'm learning nothing.
Yeah, it's easy. It's a walk in the park.
Yeah, I'm learning nothing. I'm not getting better. It's like trying to build muscle without picking up heavy weights. You have to fatigue the muscle. You have to get to muscle failure to get any strength.
Yep.
It's the same in life, guys. It's the same in anything you want to do. You should be failing daily. And the bigger the goal, the bigger and harder it is, the more failures you're going to have. Elon Musk freaking started a rocket company.
Yep.
And those things blew up 3 times in a row before he got it right. And guys, stop looking at not getting a sale today, or not getting, a lead today, a failure. It's not.
No.
It's not.
Consistency is key. I tell all my friends that. I teach them, all my agents, that everybody that I know knows that I'm a huge, what's the word I'm looking for? Huge benefactor? No. Proprietor? No. I love consistency.
Yes.
I'm all about consistency.
Absolutely. And that goes back to the daily action, right? The habits. It just takes reps, man.
Yeah.
All it takes is reps. And we have these pictures out on our walls that say, grind, perseverance, success, hustle. And then underneath it gives kind of like a definition. Well, under hustle or under grind it's repeating repetitive tasks over and over again, right? That's the definition of grinding. It's repetitions, guys. It's reps. The more reps you do, and they can be sloppy reps at first, your form gets better the more that you do, because you're learning every time.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to fail. Become comfortable with doing things you hate. You will get better with them. You will fail forward, and you will learn from them and be a better person. And guess what? Sometimes you set goals and you go after them and you achieve them, and you hate the outcome. You hate the goal. But guess what? Everything you did carries over into the next venture. It carries over into the next thing. You got better at talking to people in one industry because you set a goal, and you crushed the goal, and you hate the industry. It turns out you really do hate it. Guess what? You're not at square zero again. All of those reps of calling on that person in that industry, you still take that over to whatever your next venture is.
Yep, I can attest to that. I mean, I was in logistics before I got into real estate, and all I was doing was making calls all day long. And that skill of talking to strangers on the phone, and accepting no, getting shot down left and right. I mean, there were days I spent 8 hours cold calling and nobody picked up, or the people who did pick up told me to F myself, and here we are today and got into the real estate industry and absolutely crushing it and loving it.
Yeah, and I come from a tech e-commerce kind of background where, honestly, I really didn't talk to anybody, right? I had like customer service people in the office that were talking to people, but I know my way around a computer enough to be dangerous, and I know software and systems and how to put things into the right place as far as systems go. And now I'm not in e-commerce or tech like at all, except I am because I'm in the mortgage and real estate business, which a lot of it back end is technology, right?
All of it is technology.
All of those skills that I got being in the e-commerce, tech background, doing logistics for products and keeping inventory and all that stuff, transferred over to real estate when I got into real estate, right? So the skills you pick up are transferable. They're not one and done industries. This is why Elon is able to do the things that he does, by the way. He has built 4 or 5 different companies, I think 3 of them billion-dollar companies, in a very short period of time. It's not because he learned a brand new industry from scratch, guys. It's because he already had the tools and fundamentals in place from one industry, and it just transfers over to another one, guys. So again, don't be so worried about the outcome. Don't worry about if it's the right career move. Don't worry about if it's the right thing to do right now. Worry about setting the goal because you have an interest in it, working those daily repetitive things that you lay out to achieve that goal, and then understanding that you're just becoming a better version of yourself that can carry those skills you learned to anything and everything.
100%. Couldn't have said it better myself.
I like it.
Tell me a little bit about your goals. What do you got going on right now? What are some of your top goals? I know you kind of touched on the personal stuff. What do you have going on the mortgage side?
Yeah, well, so on the mortgage side, my goal for 2023 is $40 million in loan volume, and this will basically be the first. It's the first full year that we're actually going to be doing originating mortgages. So that's a pretty lofty goal, guys. That's a good goal. And by the way, that goal is for me as an LO by myself. So it's for me personally. It's not the whole mortgage company or anything else or have anything to do with our real estate sales. It's just me originating that much. So that's a good goal, and I've broken that down, right? So I know what my ad budget needs to be. I know how many leads I need to get. I know how many people I need to call and how many touches I need to do on a daily basis. I know what my conversion rate's going to look like on that. I know what the average sales price or average loan amount is in my area in Pennsylvania. I know how much we get compensated for each of those loans amount. And so I know how many loans I need to close on average for the month, for the year, to hit that goal, right? So, and I'm breaking that down. And so now I go a step further. So there I'm breaking down the numbers, and that leads me into, okay, what are the daily actions I need to do on a time crunch to make sure that we hit that goal? And the actions look like follow up on all the new loan applications that are in, process them, then reach out to your fully pre-approved clients, see where they're at in the process, then reach out to all your pre-qualified people, see where they're at in the process, then reach out to all your credit repair people, then reach out to all the brand new leads, then do all your tasks that you need to do for the day, right? And so all these are tracked and needed to be checked off by the end of the day. And I know it's real simple once you break it down.
Yep.
I know that I'm not going to get there. I'm not going to hit the goal unless I'm doing each one of those and checking them off every day. It's that simple. It's really that simple.
I love it.
And you know what? And here's the other thing is I've structured it so that if I'm able to keep that pace and I'm able to do that every day and I don't hit 40 million, I'm fucking ecstatic. I don't even care. I don't care. What I care about is holding myself accountable and making sure I'm doing the daily things I need to do every day, right? That's the journey. That's the important part. So yeah, that's the goal on the mortgage side, and then I have a bunch of kind of personal ones that I just track that aren't 2023. They're just lifetime goals.
Yep.
Becoming better, more connected spiritually. I read one spiritual book a month, right? Becoming a better father. I read parenting books. Becoming a better husband. I read relationship books. Taking my wife out on a date once a month. I've got a ton, guys. I've got a ton. There's 27 different things that I do on a daily basis, or make sure that I do on a daily basis and check off, right? So, yeah.
That's amazing.
How about you, Logan?
I mean, I have, similar to you, as far as the relationship and fatherly goals go. I mean, I'm in the same boat there. Got lots of personal stuff going. Right now on the real estate side of things, my big goal for 2023, which I've broken down, is hiring and retaining 30 agents in the office. I only just stepped into the broker role at the end of the summer this year in 2022. So got a few agents in the door already, got most of them, apart from one, all trained up at this point, and they're out in the field, they're selling. So want to scale that. Obviously, we're doing a ton of lead generation for all of our agents, helping them, kind of hit the ground running. So just kind of helping them service their clients. I don't have a sales goal in mind quite yet. I'll define that a little bit further after I see how this Q4 comes about and see kind of where we were at today. That way I can adjust accordingly on, what next year is going to look like from a sales volume side. But my big thing is just getting 30 agents in the door, retaining them, getting them trained up. Ideally, I would love to have some, heavy hitters in the industry here locally. Want to really get this brand awareness out there. I want J.R.Heller to be a well-known brand in the industry and this local South Central Pennsylvania market. So doing a lot of advertising, making a lot of relationships in the business world, small business world, working with a lot of small business owners and trying to, scale the J.R.Heller brand. So that's like kind of my MO right now, just focusing on getting the J.R.Heller brand out there and making sure everybody knows who we are and, that we're coming to play.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's great. And it just kind of popped in my head is one thing is like, your goals are going to change tremendously, guys, like as you go. Like they're going to change. What is important to you is going to change tremendously. And I think, just over time, as you get older, as you have a family, as, whatever, you're going to see the world differently. And a big part of seeing the world differently and going through those changes is attaining those goals, right? That they are in the moment. And I promise you're going to have goals that you hit that you're going to look back 5-10 years from now and say, why did I even
almost laughable. Yeah.
It is like, why did I even want that? Like that's not even close to something that I enjoy or would want today.
Yep.
And that's completely fine. It's actually to be expected.
It's a part of growing.
Exactly. So don't be afraid to set them, go after them, and crush them, right? Don't think twice.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, I think I'm good and leave it there. And appreciate you guys watching. Again, if there's anything that we can help you with, whether it be real estate, mortgage, whatever, you just want to talk to us, reach out. Also, if there's any topics you want us to cover that's within, the finance, real estate, entrepreneurial, industries, let us know. Leave a comment, and we'll do our best to make a video on that and touch on that. Appreciate you watching.
Thanks, guys.
And if you get value from this, please like, subscribe, and comment. That would greatly help us. Appreciate it.
Much appreciated, guys. Take care.